Joe Rogan gave an absolutely chilling warning to Americans about how Americans are thinking about this election. I think it's really interesting. Take a look.
She's going to win. I feel like we are in this very bizarre time where people are giving in to the in a way that I never suspected people would before. And this is one, they just want no Trump, no matter what, and they're willing to gaslight themselves. She's the least popular vice president of all time, and then in a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one. I would have thought that Trump getting shot would that's it. Election's over. But it's like they memory hold that so quick.
So Joe Rogan is absolutely right. When he says that people immediately switched, it does point to me that it's more of a product of being excited that Biden's not in than anything. And so again, I truly believe the polls are going to sour for her. And I think, again, it's the honeymoon phase. We don't know how long it will last, but people just switching on the dime, I think that's just more of a relief that Biden's not in there. I'm hoping. Again, we're not sure yet. We don't know how. If the honeymoon phase lasts all the way until the election, it's going to be very bad for Donald Trump. Part of that requires, though, that the media is actually going to have to interview her and for her to get on the debate stage with Donald Trump, which is why I've emphasized so much that if the media won't do their job, which we can't expect them to because they never do, Trump has to demand a debate from Kamala Harris and he needs to be bullish about it. But what he says at the end there, what Joe Rogan says about what is happening with big tech collusion and changing stories, it is shocking. I saw online that someone searched for a Trump rally and all that came up with was Kamala Harris rallies. I mean, that's really where we're at. You cannot find the information that you want. Big tech is totally they had a huge influence in 2016 and 2020. I'm sure well before that, but it wasn't on people's radar as much as it is today. It's going to have a huge effect in this election as well. And again, we can whine and complain about it as conservatives, but I want to hear what the plan is. Trump needs to have a plan. Part of that is using the money that he has gotten. He's had very good fundraising luck. He needs to continue using that well in marketing campaigns against Kamala Harris. So again, and the question is why is it Google's job to simp for Kamala? Why do we allow them to do that? Because these things have real consequences, as I just talked about. And as Joe Rogan said, I hate to take this pessimistic kind of thought and this route with all of this, but I'm not so sure that Americans are smart enough to act in their best interest anymore. Americans the track record shows they do not do that. When you have polls, again, the polling for Trump on the economy looks pretty good. Most people agree that he does better, but still, when you see 45% of people saying that Kamala Harris will do better on the economy than Donald Trump, it's just bewildering that anybody could possibly believe that. And it's because they truly don't want their best interests at heart. They have other things at play. As much as I want to say Americans can see through the media crap, I think there are a lot of them that do not understand the radical politician that Kamala Harris is. They just don't know, because Kamala Harris has completely redefined her campaign and who she is as this kind of moderate prosecutor. It could not be further from the truth. But the Trump campaign has not done a good job of defining her for who she really is. They have got to get moving on that. I think the most effective way of doing that is talking about the economy, because that's where Trump is the strongest. Speaking about immigration is also really important, but Trump has to be really careful when he talks about immigration. He needs to do it his way. I'm not saying he needs to be politician-y about it, but he also needs to do it in a way that is appealing not just to his base, but to independent voters who are being affected. Again, there's a big correlation between the immigration and the economic issue anyway. I mean, one of the big problems with immigration right now is that it's taking those blue-collar jobs. There's just no way around it. And that's a big deal for people in Michigan, Wisconsin, in Pennsylvania. That's a massive deal. It will have a huge effect. Even a massive deal in Arizona and Georgia, for that matter. I mean, you're in Arizona, you're in Nevada, you've got tons of Hispanics over there, and they're taking these blue-collar jobs. That's a huge pitch from Donald Trump, just to simply say, hey, I don't hate anybody, but they can't come in illegally, and they certainly can't come in illegally if they're taking your job. And by the way, aren't you feeling that right now? Aren't you feeling you can't really get a job very easily? If he just said it that simply, I know people would grasp onto it, but Republicans, for whatever reason, are kind of dropping the ball on media at the moment. They have got to get back on. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please go down below, comment, like, and subscribe, and watch another video.